Greetings, my dears, in love and light. I'm Nikki Sutton. Is reincarnation a trap? Now, you may have heard about reincarnation potentially being a trap, and that there's beings out there that when we pass over, they force us to reincarnate, so that we're sort of stuck here on Earth in an endless karmic cycle, and they're kind of draining our energy in some way. But I've got some really good reasons as to why I definitely do not think this is the case. But I have a question here from a viewer, and this is from Jana. Hello Nikki, I'm just contacting you on the concept of reincarnation being used by higher developed beings to trap us in certain situations, positive or negative. Do you know anything about this and could expand? Okay, well, first of all, I'm going to give you 3 or 4 reasons why I think reincarnation is not a trap. And I think this is fear-mongering. I think this is drama building. And I think we need to go through our lives confident that when we do eventually pass over, we're going to live our lives to the full, but when we do eventually pass over, we want to be confident that good things are coming and that we can choose our own path and own direction, choose our incarnations or where we go next. So first of all, I don't think it's true that reincarnation is a trap, because our spirit guides, they're out there helping us, and many of us have had absolute proof that our spirit guides are there for us. Now, how could they be there on the other side aiding us if they were forced into some reincarnational trap? They wouldn't be there for us. Now, we feel them there, they help us and guide us, and many of us have got to the point where we can communicate with them readily. And if you haven't got there yet, you will. But they wouldn't be there if they were forced into something. In addition, a little while back, I had a, let's say, psychedelic experience. And I saw my spirit guides step into the room with me. I saw them, I felt them, and they communicated a lot of information to me. The veil had been lifted between this reality and theirs. The dimensional frequency no longer applied because my pineal gland was tuned into other realities, and they entered the room. They communicated many concepts to me, which I could go into in another video. One of those was intense love, enough to make me burst into tears. I've never felt so much love in all my life. It was so intense. Anyway, how could they be there doing that if they had been forced into some reincarnational trap? Now, I know that's just a subjective experience of mine, but that has removed all doubt for me. Take it as you will. My second reason for knowing, well, I know it through and through intuitively, but my second reason for knowing that reincarnation is not a trap is that if there are higher beings there forcing us to reincarnate so that they can suck our energy on this planet or something, well, my higher self is a higher being too, and yours is a being out there in some other dimension, us in the far, far unimaginable future, because time doesn't apply where the higher self resides, so it is there and we are here, but it's there for us. I don't think my higher self would stand for that, and I don't think yours would either. And another reason why I don't believe that reincarnation is a trap is because if you read Seth Speaks of the Seth material, which was channeled by Jane Roberts, that is one of my favourite channelings, Seth tells of how he is a discarnate entity. He's had earthly lives. In fact, he was currently experiencing a life as a dog on Earth at the time, but he himself was discarnate outside of earthly incarnations, communicating, channeling with Jane Roberts and her husband. So he wasn't forced into any reincarnation cycle. He was experiencing a period of rest, spirit side. And here's some more reasons why I don't think reincarnation is a trap, and that beings who have evolved to a certain level of consciousness can absolutely choose where they go next and have autonomy. I'm going to do some quotes now from the Law of One, the Ra material, another of my favourite channelings. Take it if you want to, take it as your own truth if you want to. I'm not trying to preach anything to you here. I'm just trying to open up some possibilities for you with some ideas. So this is an excerpt from the Law of One. So Ra says, and referring to wanderers, those beings who are from a higher density of existence, and they incarnate on earth to try and help out and raise the vibration. So about wanderers, some wanderers offer themselves but for one incarnation, while others offer themselves for varying lengths of your time, up to and including the last 2 cycles of 25,000 years. If the agreed upon mission is complete, the wanderer's mind, body, spirit complex will go to the home vibration. So here we see that in a very respected channeling, that wanderers, those who come here from elsewhere to incarnate on earth, they can choose how long they stay here for. They're not forced to incarnate here more. They can come here for but one incarnation, as it says, or more, depending on what they feel they can do here and what progression they can get out of it. So they're free to go. Now it does go on to say about wanderers as well, is the challenge, danger of the wanderer is that it will forget its mission, become karmically involved, and thus be swept into the maelstrom from which it had incarnated and end up aiding the destruction. So that's one thing with wanderers. If you are a wanderer, you come here from elsewhere on a bit of a mission, then if you forget your mission and don't have an awakening, or don't work in love and light for the betterment of the planet, humanity and all that's on it, then and end up doing really negative behaviours and self-serving behaviours, you can end up karmically involved. And then it ends up that the vibration is lowered of that being. So you'd end up having to continue incarnations here, but that's not by force. That's the soul requiring healing, because it's come here, got swept up in all the drama, performed negative acts, and then ending up karmically involved. So then the soul or higher self would want that being to reincarnate and reincarnate on earth to try and work that off, because it's he or she has lowered their vibration. So in that way, you can end up stuck here, as it says in the Law of One, in order to work off this karma. If you don't awaken to your true potential, or you guys listening have awakened to your true potential, it just takes that moment to realise, But that's how you can end up here, but it's not by force. It would be by choice of the higher self in order to repair that vibrational lowering that has occurred. And here's one more reason why I don't think reincarnation is a trap. Ra says, wanderers only in the sense that they chose in 4th density love to immediately reincarnate in 3rd density rather than proceeding towards 4th density. This causes them to be wanderers of a type, wanderers who have never left the earth plane because of their free will rather than because of their vibrational level. Now what that means is when a being of 3rd density, earth is 3rd density, progresses to that of the 4th density, they can choose to remain or they can choose to go anyway. They can choose to go into the 4th density Earth, or 4th density some other planet or other existence, whatever. So the point is they end up sort of classed as a wanderer because they're choosing to stay behind to do some good in the 3rd density rather than leave and go somewhere else. So again, we see there's choice involved, there's free will involved, and it just doesn't resonate with me that there's beings out there forcing us to reincarnate. I know my soul. We're immortal, infinite beings that can manifest at will on the other side, or can here as well. It just doesn't seem like it. But I don't think us immortal, infinite beings are going to allow that to happen. We could manifest our way out of that, combat it with love, light and understanding. Our souls are not going to allow that to happen. So I hope you found that helpful today on Is Reincarnation a Trap? You know, I saw a couple of videos that were very convincing, channelings and things like that, newer channelings, quite negative in orientation, trying to convince viewers that reincarnation is a trap. I feel like maybe they might have picked up negative beings, things like that. They're communicating fearful ideas to make us lose hope. And when I watched that, I was like, goodness me, you know, if I took that on board, I'd lose hope. And I don't want you to feel that way. I want you to feel like you're free, you're boundless. The creation is your oyster. You can create what you want, and you're not restricted, you're not inhibited. And I think if more of us realise this, then we could change a lot more and just live in love, light and understanding in this reality and the next, or wherever we go. So in my mind, reincarnation is not a trap. Don't be worrying about that. Don't hold any kind of fear like that, because that'll bring your vibration down. So leave me and others a comment on what you think about that and what I've just said. And please consider visiting nikkisutton.com. I've got a bunch of services on there, sessions, ascension course. I've got a new course coming soon on intuitive development as well. That'll be about a month. But I'm wishing you much love and all the best. And remember to click subscribe and that bell button too for notifications, because we're raising the mass vibration together. So go now in love and peace.